Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Angela with Angela's Inspired Creations, and today I'm going to bring you a tumbler tutorial on how to use Loctite to create an ombre look on a stainless steel tumbler. Now today's tutorial I'm actually going to be using a taped tumbler. So I'm going to be using a tumbler that has actually already been taped so that the stainless shows on the outside once the design is done. I'm going to do another tutorial in the next couple weeks that will be the same type of tutorial with the Loctite method, but it'll be with a tumbler that is not taped, just so that you can see the difference. I know everybody has their own preference on if they prefer taped or not taped. So this will give you a chance to see both of those tutorials. So today's tutorial, I'm going to be working on a blue and white ombre. It doesn't really have to have a nice fade look to it, only because I'll be adding some chunky glitter just along the middle. So I'm not really concerned about my line today. Now the ombre that I'm going to be doing on the full tumbler, the one that I don't tape, that one will have to have like that nice ombre fade to it. This is just going to be more of like a two color, but I wanted to show you how I use the Loctite method to make that happen. Now, sometimes people like to use the epoxy method, or they use Mod Podge to put on their glitter. I've tried both methods and I did not like Mod Podge at all. My cup is so thick and I didn't like it. I pretty much only use Mod Podge for my pencil tumblers right now. I might even try a different method next time, I'm not sure. And as far as the epoxy method, I know a lot of people like that method, but I cannot get it to work for me. I end up having way more problems with my cups in the long run. I am going to take you out the first time to my spray paint tent so you can watch how I put the Loctite on. I know I've seen comments in other videos where people have said, oh, I wish I could have watched you spray it so they know, I don't know, I guess how thick to get it or what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and take you outside to let you see that. It's actually not outside, it's just in my garage where I have a spray paint booth. And then what I do is I usually open the garage when I come back inside while I'm glittering, and then that way the fumes kind of get out of the garage there. You can see I've already primed this cup just white spray paint. I don't make it perfect. I don't really care. I just really want to give it a base, just blah. So I spray until it looks pretty covered. To me, if it's not perfect 100%, this is not a spray paint cup. It's just a base coat to get that stainless steel from showing. So here we go. So I'm out here in my spray paint booth and I have my tumbler ready to go. It's already taped. It's already been spray painted white just as a base coat. I'm not super worried about how perfect it is because I'm going to be glittering it. I'm going to be using the Loctite spray adhesive. This one is new for me. Normally I use I think the green one. Yeah, I have the green one right here. Normally I use the green one, but I saw this one at Walmart when I needed to get another bottle, and it was like $1 more to get a bigger bottle than the green one, and it says it's 200 high performance. So I'm thinking maybe I might need less coats when I use this, so I'm gonna go with it. And I've got it on my handle here that I got from Cuposaurus, and I'm just going to spray all the way around until I can see that it's covered. Ooh, this sprays nicely. I don't want to get clumps, so I'm trying to spray a little further away until I just make sure that I got everything. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And if it's not, I know I'm going to have to do several trips out here back and forth. So we're just gonna make it work. Here we go. So now we're inside. I've got my little station set up here with my 2 paper plates, 1 for each color. I'm gonna be using Harbor Blue from Yaya's, and I'm going to be using High Flash White from Yaya's. So the white is going to go on top, the blue on the bottom. And I'm actually going to start with the white only because I do not want any of the blue to get into my leftovers of my white. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. And I'll try to make this to where it's easy for you to see. So I am just going to start sprinkling and turning as I go. The nice thing is this one's taped, so I'm able to kind of touch the bottom to help me go round and round. And I try my best to keep it on the plate. It doesn't always happen, but I can try. I already see a difference in this Loctite than the other one, so I'm excited about that. Seems like it's definitely holding better on this first round. So maybe that'll mean less times back out to the garage. And I'm just waving in like a regular shaking pattern here. I'm going to go around twice just to get any that I might have missed. Just kind of shaking as I go back onto the plate. And I know that when I'm using Loctite, I'm going to have to do more than one trip, and it's okay because a lot of this is going to flake off and it's going to go right back in my little cup or my little shaker. So I'm not super worried that I'm wasting any of it. It's all going to go right back in there until I start working with the blue. And then there is the chance that some of it is going to come off the blue when I shake it. Like there's just a piece from some other project I did came off. So I'm going to go until about the middle. I'm not worried about getting straight down to the middle because I'm actually going to have a chunky glitter that will show up in the middle on this one once I'm done. I'm going to shake it off, and there you can see that I've got that glitter. That looks so much better. So I really like that. And I'm just going to bang it off a little bit. Make sure that none of it comes off. I just want to bang it off and make sure that it all comes off that might be loose. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to set that to the side because I'm not worried about putting it back in there just yet. And now I'm going to start on my Harbor Blue. And I'm going to come up to about the ridge here, doing that. So I'll kind of make this kind of awkward. I'm trying to make sure I can see you in the... Okay, oh, this is a beautiful color. I'm just going to kind of go up to that ridge there. Oh my goodness, this is such a pretty color. Oh, this is not my first time working with it, but it's my first time where it's been the main color focus, and it's such a beautiful color. And this is when you're going to start to notice why you need a second coat. And it could just be that I did the white first, so there's not as much of the sticky still on there. Though I haven't really noticed that as an issue, but you can see where it's not quite sticking. And that's okay, and I know I'm using quite a bit of it, but like I said, it's all going to go back into the jar, and then go back on the cup again, and then back in the jar. I just go ahead and I'm just going to shake that off, and you can see the darker color there is definitely going to need another coat or two, but you'll see it'll start to really stick really well once we get that next coat on there. But at least this gives me my line. It tells me where I'm going. I just sprinkle. All right, I'm gonna bang that off pretty good. And like I said, I'm not too worried about it being a perfect line. I'll go a little bit more up because this is going to have a chunky glitter here in the middle. So I'm not worried about a perfect ombre or a perfect line, or it's okay because right where that curve is, that's where that chunky glitter is going to go. Okay, so I'm just going to shake that off. I didn't get any there. So okay, so now we're going to go back out into the garage, into the spray paint tent again, and we're going to spray the Loctite just straight over this. I don't wait for it to dry. I don't give it any time to dry or anything like that. I just go ahead and Loctite it again, another round. Usually I Loctite it again and another round. And then I see from there, do I need any more? Yes, no. If I don't, then we will go ahead and start spray sealing it. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on hold. Here we go. So apparently my video turned off there. in the middle of recording, so you didn't just get to see that. But what I did is I went ahead and I started Loctiting again, just over what I already have there. And I went around a few times until you can kind of see that my glitter is now dull and very like matte looking. And that means that I've gotten my Loctite on there and it's ready to go ahead and get more glitter. So we're gonna go ahead and go inside now. I'm just gonna do like I did with the last one. I'm just gonna kind of shake and go. Shake and go as I spin around. I had to open my second bottle of High Flash White because the other one ran out, which I could have just put it back in there, but I usually wait till the end unless I'm completely out or at the bare bottom of my glitter jar, then I'll just keep going all the way till the end. So I only have to put it back in one time. Now this time I actually got my glitters from Yaya's in the bottles already, and I can already see I'm gonna like that a lot better because these spice jars I had gotten, they have this little lid on the top and I have to pop it off each time. But they started doing it where you could order them in the jars, and so I did that this time, and I really like the bottles these come in. So, oh, you can definitely see that's covering a lot better. It's looking very good, so hopefully the blue will as well. Oops. I tend to make a mess when I do this. I think that's kind of a given when you work with glitter. So I'm just going to shake it off. Try to make sure that gets off there. And then I'm going to switch over to the blue again. I think it definitely is covering better this second time. Usually the case, it tends to want to stick to some other kind of glitter. I'm probably still going to put a third coat on this just to make sure, because sometimes once you get it under epoxy, I've seen where there's like spots, but you don't notice it until it's almost too late. So I don't know. I might take it over there to the window and see what I think. I think I kind of have a light spot here where that wasn't covering the first round, so I probably will go ahead and do, like, I can see that light spot there. I don't know if you guys can see that, if it's focused enough or the lighting is right, but I definitely see one little spot there. So I'm gonna shake that off really well, and we're gonna go for round number 3. Back out to the garage. Okay, and now we're back, and we're gonna be in the spray paint booth again. I'm gonna spray this upside down once just to clear that out. Shake it up. Okay. All right, and I'm just gonna spray it again. Turning as I go with my wand. So as you can see, it's dull again. So here we go. We're gonna go back inside and glitter another round. Okay, and we're back again. So again, I'm gonna start with the white just because it's definitely easier to keep the blue from going into the white when I start with the white. The white was looking really good, so I'm not super concerned about the white other than up near the top where the tape is. And you can see when you've actually gotten the glitter on the round because it goes from being dull back to being shiny again. I'll just go around one more time. I try not to go too far up because then it's just going to go into the tape, and that means I've kind of lost that glitter because the tape's just going to be pulled. So, okay. So I'm going to bang that off. Okay, move that to the side. All right, and back to our Harbor Blue. And I'm just gonna go around again, making sure to get that edge really well. And around I go, just making sure I've gotten the entire blue back to being shiny again. Get that edge. Ooh. Just trying to make sure I have that edge really well. All right, I'm gonna bang that off. And I think that looks really good. So I'm gonna take you over here by the window to show you what that looks like. So I just wanted to get you in some natural light so you could see what this looks like. It does look pretty good. So before I seal this, I'm actually gonna add my chunky glitter right along the center right here. And I'm back. Spray that upside down. That's just so it doesn't get clogged. Now I am only gonna go on the center piece right here, and I'm just gonna do kind of a light layer if possible. We'll see. This is still kind of new to me for the chunky, just doing a little bit. So I'm just gonna spray that center. Spray that center, spray the center, and you can see where it's gotten dull, and that's what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back in the house and add the chunky glitter there, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and what I'm going to use next is I'm going to use my graffiti dots, also from Yaya's. I have my separate plate here for my chunky, and I'm just going to shake this out. Actually, I forgot. I realized that with these shakers, I have to take the lid off for the chunky because it doesn't want to come through my little shakers. So I'm just going to gently go through here, and I can wipe it off the bottom there. It shouldn't stick to where the blue is that much. And I'm going to put a lot on there, but that's just because it's all going to fall off here in a minute. Okay. Okay. So I can just flake off the ones that I don't want down here, or kind of push them toward the center. And as I go through here, I'm just going to kind of pat these down to trying to get them to lie flat as much as possible. Oop, still a little sticky spot there. I'll just put some there. I'm just going to try to pat these down, which I will do the same thing after I spray seal. I will try to pat these down as much as possible so that they dry flat, because that's just less sanding you have to do and less bumps it creates in your epoxy. And that's kind of, ooh, almost dropped those. I think that looks pretty cute. Okay, and there we have it. I think that's going to be really pretty once it's epoxied. All right, so we're gonna go outside and I'm gonna show you how to spray seal this. I'm back. So what we're going to do now is we are going to seal our glitter, and I use triple thick crystal clear gaze. And I will probably end up doing 3 coats of this by the time all is said and done. So what I'm gonna do is after I clear spray this, I'm going to take it in the house. We're gonna clean up the glitter. I'm gonna show you how I put it back in. And then I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for 30 minutes to an hour. Then I'll come back out, I'll spray it again, let it dry for another 30 minutes to an hour, come back out, spray it one more time, 30 minutes to an hour. I want to make sure that my glitter is laying flat, that nothing is coming off of it when I shake it, that all the glitter is in place. So, to seal this, move you up just a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to run my sealer over my cup. And it's very similar to the Loctite. Once you see that it's getting dull, that pretty much means that you're doing the job right. Okay, get that thick glitter. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and take you back in the house. We're gonna let this dry. And who knows, maybe I use too much. I don't know. I feel like I go through my crystal clear pretty quickly, but I just want to make sure it stays. It's better than having it mix when you're doing the epoxy and then your glitter is moving into the other glitters. So I'd rather spend a little more effort on this side of it than have to go back and redo something. So here we go. Okay, guys. So now what we're going to do is I've just got my cup. I've got it in here drying. And I'm going to try and pat down this just a little bit so that hopefully this dries flat. I'm usually pushing it down for several times after I do the sealer. It just likes to poke up. But the flatter you can get it now, the easier it'll be on you during your epoxy layers. So, and I'm just going to set this off to the side and let it, I'll do it this way, and let it go ahead and dry. I will then do, like I said, another layer of sealer, let it dry, and do another layer of sealer. If I have to do a fourth, I will. Sometimes that happens. Once I'm done with that, and the seal is pretty good, and I feel like nothing's falling off, I will go ahead and pull the tape. I will retape it, and then I will go ahead and epoxy it. And this we'll have to be super careful with so that a lot of this chunky, you know, I want to make sure it's sealed so that the chunky doesn't move as I rub on my epoxy, because I do use the finger method, so I will go up and down with my gloved finger. So we want to make sure that it's sealed really well so none of this moves during that process. But I think it's going to be a beautiful cup. I will probably wait to post this video until I have finished the cup so that I can post a photo at the end of what this actually looks like once it's done. I think I'm going to love it. And hopefully you will too. So, how do I put all of this stuff back? Super, super easy. I have my little topper off of my glitter containers, and I just fold in my paper plate, and the glitter pretty much goes right back in. And just tap the bottom back of it, and most of it will come off. And the little bit that doesn't, I'm not super worried about it. I'm not one that likes to fight with it over and over again. I'd rather let's just move on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one. For my Yaya's High Flash, I'm going to actually stick it in this one. And I'm not going to use the other container that I had this time. And again, I just fold it over, just like that. And I just let it run back in there. And it's quite funny. I think the second set of the High Flash White that I got is a lot more sparkly than the High Flash I originally had. It's just so much more sparkly. So I don't know if they changed that or what, but it looks really good. So I love this High Flash White. I've used it quite a bit. That's why I've already had to reorder it. Okay, and then I'm going to do my blue. And if I hadn't mixed my pour glitters here under the table, I have some on the table here. If I hadn't mixed that, if I'd been able to catch it before, like put the white away before I got the blue or the chunky glitter in there, then I would have tried to save some of that on the table. But I'm not super worried about it. This glitter actually goes a really long way. It seems like you're putting a lot on there, but really you've got plenty there. So that's it. And there we go. I'll put my little tab back on there. Put my lid back on. This is the blue lid. And put my white back on there. And that's it. I'm done. So here's the cup all finished. Yay! I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified when I post new videos. We'll be posting a few more Tumbler tutorials coming up in the future, so be on the lookout for those, as well as still mixing in some other crafts as well. So that's it for me. Thanks for stopping by. This is Angela signing out. See you in the next one.